Hello everyone, welcome back to the Late Night Lounge podcast, episode 10. Holy shit, I can't believe we actually made it, everyone. Episode 10.
Episode 10.
And not cancelled. Well, not yet, at least. We don't know. Anyways, today on the 10 episode anniversary, I'm joined today by Ryan. Say hello, Ryan.
Hello, everybody.
Ryan, anything new? Anything new exciting happening right now?
Nope, still maidenless, you know?
Yep, still maidenless. Someone's been playing a lot of Elden Ring.
Yes.
Also joining us tonight is Nick. Say hello, Nick.
Yo, what's up?
Yep. Nick is fresh off doing something. I know you've been up to a lot, Nick. I just can't remember. But trust me, I'm not a bad friend. I love you.
Same shit, different day.
Same shit, different day. And we're also joined by Oliver. Oliver, say hello. Oliver, say hello. Oliver, don't ignore me. Oliver. Okay, he's not. Oliver's
steady on, mate.
Steady on, mate.
Oliver's a bit. He's gone right now. He'll probably come back in a minute. Anyways, episode 10. Made it. Holy shit.
We made it.
God.
Milestone.
Yo, guys, 100,000 subscribers. Just what's the pyro-cynical thing?
So, guys, we did it. We reached 250,000 subscribers.
So, guys, we did it. We reached 250,000 subs.
Hey, guys, Leafy's here.
Leafy's here. Yeah, look, I thought this episode we could sort of just sit around and talk about everything. You know, we're 10 episodes in. We're about, I don't know how many months in we are with this podcast now. We've had a lot of things come through and all that.
Hey?
Just how Oliver, is that you?
Oh shit. Okay. My thing was all glitched out. What the fuck?
Oh yeah. So in these 10 episodes, we've kind of gone through like a fair bit. You know, we've had, you know, we've had people come and go. We've had a studio that really amounted to nothing, and we tried using it. Oliver, how's the studio looking? How's the studio?
Dude, I can't tell you. Especially after all that rain, it's probably fucked.
Yeah,
the lamp is all good. Hey, that lamp is still good though.
The lamp is still good. Okay.
That lamp.
The lamp. Yeah, that's the most crucial part.
Those IKEA desks are probably fucked though. Just saying.
No, they would have had a cover on it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they'd be fine because our garage doesn't flood that much, but they would have gotten a bit wet in the bottom, but we should be alright.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I had to tell Ryan about this, but Brisbane got inundated with like a shit ton of rain. We got like really rained on. I know I got flooded, my house flooded, and James's house flooded a little bit. So that's why we haven't been doing a lot recently. We haven't been posting much. We haven't been doing anything like that. We sort of have been right then it was sort of about going out and helping our community and sort of making sure everyone was all right before we returned to the podcast sort of thing. But we're back now, stronger than ever. Yeah, so we're back 10 episodes later. How about that?
How about that? That is crazy.
Yeah.
10. Fucking hell.
Like, it's
10
not
episodes.
anything crazy. Like, it is only 10 episodes. It's doable, but it's still pretty crack that we committed this, this much that we've actually still
Steady
going.
on. Steady on.
Steady on there, mate.
Steady on.
Steady on, mate.
Yeah.
Oz Comic Con.
Yeah, that's a very
That's something else. That's something else we've been doing, like, working on.
Yeah,
And organizing.
yeah.
That's why we've also been kind of gone.
We've for people who don't know and don't follow our Instagram page and our Twitter page, I believe Nick's been doing a great job posting about that. We are officially slated to go to Oz Comic Con Brisbane 2022.
Somehow. By some grace of God.
By some people apparently like to listen to us. And that's all thanks to you guys and to the fans and all that. So thank you to you guys.
Like, I'm super thankful, but
yeah.
I'm just to be honest, I don't know how the hell we got a panel on that.
I don't know how we did it either.
Like, we just started pretty much.
They must be really trying to like dig into some scraps to try and find a panel.
Really, yeah. Well, first off, before we begin that, you can get your tickets at ozcomiccon.com. Oli, we aren't sponsored by them, but we have to promote them. We have to get the tickets.
Well, no, it's technically because they're. It's technically it's not a sponsorship because they're not paying us and we're not paying them.
Yeah,
but it's a mutual agreement to say, hey, go to it.
Today today marks the road to Oz Comic Con 2022. So March 26th, which is actually the day after my birthday, March 26th. We'll have a panel, the late night lounge panel. It'll be pretty cool. Come down, say hi. We don't bite.
Yes, buy
except
tickets.
Oli.
I will
Give
fucking
Oz
call
Comic Con more
everyone.
money.
If you try and approach me, I will fucking put you on the. I'll put you on the floor.
Ryan's.
You're not even gonna be there. Come.
Hey man,
Ryan's gonna bite through the computer monitor that we're gonna have set up there.
Also, for anyone who's listening to this in 2023, I'm sorry you're a little late to come to the Comic Con this year.
Well, come to. Maybe we'll be there at Oz Comic Con 2023. If you guys
reckon,
listen.
like in the future, there'll be someone who'll just binge all the episodes a year later, just
Yeah.
like a year's worth of content.
That's what I do. I binge like content. Just like wait a year and then binge all the episodes.
I'll do
I hate
that with
waiting
some.
week to week.
I'll do that with some podcasts. Like some podcasts, like I'll have a couple hours built up, and then I'll listen to it while I'm working or if I'm mowing the lawn, just so I don't run out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, Oz Comic Con, Brisbane. I must preference. We're not going to Melbourne. We're not going to Sydney. We're not going to Perth. Brisbane, Oz Comic Con, 26th of March 2022. We'll be there. We're not going to be there on Sunday. We're just going to be there Saturday. So if you're there, come down, say hi. Just let us know through our Instagram, and we will definitely come and say hi. Oli bites. I'll have him on a leash, but besides that, it'll be all right.
Yeah, you put like a fucking mouth cover over me. Put me in chains. Put me in a cage.
You gotta be a fucking gimp.
Bro, I'm gonna be like a pimp's pet.
I think, yeah. But sort of like we've been talking about this recently, and originally we were going to talk about for this episode we were going to talk about the Batman because me, Ollie, Nick, and James all saw it, but Ryan,
I still have yet to see it somehow. I guarantee you, I'm the biggest Batman fan out of everyone here, and yet I somehow still haven't seen it.
Nah, Brian, I challenge you to a Batman.
I know. Listen, Ollie, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know who you're talking to. Okay. Fuck you. You're literally maidenless, Ollie. You have no maidens.
That's the one who claims he's a Batman fan, bro.
Me and Ryan used to grind Batman Arkham Origins back in the day. Watch out, bro.
And Night. We grinded Night too.
Well, yeah, we grinded Night.
Okay.
Yeah, but since we can't talk about that, I thought what would be fun today is if
have you 100% Lego Batman games? Didn't think so.
Have you 100% a Lego Batman game before?
Yeah, check my profile. The Lego Batman video game, 100%.
I think I came close.
Do you have any social life whatsoever? Although
I mean, it's Ollie, so no.
What's your social life?
I was just okay. Not gonna lie. It was a dark time in my life. I usually when you're 100% a Lego game, you're down bad.
You got a lot of things.
I also did Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm currently doing Star Wars.
So basically, the message here is the only kind of people that 100% Lego Batman are depressed people.
Exactly.
Well, anyone who's used 100% of the complete saga literally has no life because that shit is so long.
That shit's
the complete saga is a stretch because it's got like fucking 7 chapters.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys hear me and Ryan say no maidens, it's because we're obsessed with this new Elden Ring. Is it Elden Ring?
It is Elden Ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. Like, I feel like the no bitches meme is kind of getting oversaturated, but I just love that. I just love that meme, like the Elden Ring one specifically. I fucking love it. I
was talking about earlier about how I wanted to get into Souls-like games because it seems like every time a new Souls-like game comes out, it's touted as like game of the year. You know, this is the one to get into, and you know, I feel like Elden Ring specifically has been the one that has opened the floodgates towards sort of Souls-like games. You had that with Dark Souls like 2 and 3, where the market slowly grew and grew. And then Sekiro came out, which was I think it was Bloodborne before Sekiro.
Yeah, it was Bloodborne before Sekiro.
But that was a PS4 exclusive or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
it is incredible.
So, me and James were talking about recency bias, and we were talking about which Batman is the best Batman, and people were saying the Batman is better than the Dark Knight, and I say bullshit.
No,
the Batman's great. I love the Batman, but there's no way it is as good as the Dark Knight or Batman Begins, in my opinion.
That was the same thing with like Spider-Man. People were saying, "Oh, Tom Holland's the best one," and then before that, they're saying, "Oh, Andrew Garfield's the best," and it's just
Well,
like,
that was
then the people.
Yeah, but that's different. I genuinely think Tom Holland's the best
I
Spider-Man
think so
we've
too.
gotten.
I think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man.
Because the problem is we've always had with Spider-Man, it's an adult, but like trying to act like a teenager still. Like the only closest one we got was Andrew Garfield, but he's still like what 30 now.
So the thing,
but Tom Holland is like an actual kid.
well, he's not actually a
and
kid. He's like
young
25
and
or something. But yeah,
Yeah, no, but he looks like
he
he's
looks
an
like
actual
you or
kid.
me, Ollie. Yeah.
Yeah, like he looks like the average kid who becomes Spider-Man and had that responsibility, and he's still like
another
Peter Parker.
byproduct of Spider-Man No Way Home, which you're talking about, Nick, about the recency bias stuff, was nobody gave a shit about the Amazing Spider-Man before No Way Home came out. Or is it No Way Home or is it Far From Home?
No Way
forget
Home.
which one. No Way Home. No Way Home.
It's No Way
Like
Home.
nobody cared about Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. I remember like people talk about how great Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 is now.
Sam Raimi.
It's not. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a bad film, and I will stand by that to the day I die. You know, they're not good
Although
films.
I will say my opinion on the first movie has lightened up dramatically. Not the second movie.
I
the
love
first movie. Yeah, I actually do enjoy the first movie.
When I was a kid, my dad took me to go watch The Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, you gotta. You gotta.
Yeah, it just cuts off. Okay. Yeah, my dad took me to take the. Oh wait,
My dad.
When I was a kid, my dad took me to watch Amazing Spider-Man 1, and I was never a kid.
Did he leave?
My dad
He went to go get milk.
Sorry, I didn't realize that. My dad actually just dropped like a bunch of papers on my desk. Sorry about that. Speaking of my dad, when we went to go watch Amazing Spider-Man 1, that was 2012, so I would have been in like grade 4 or something like that. I was so hyped for the film. When we went to the cinema, for me, it's literally just a walk up the road and I'm at the cinema. I wore a Spider-Man costume and everything. Like I had the mask, I had the shoes, I had the little web shooters and everything. And looking back on it, like I used to cringe at that. Like I used to cringe at the fact that I wore that like outfit to a Spider-Man movie. And now I look back at it and I go, yeah, cool.
No, okay.
Like,
see, I've done the same thing,
yeah.
a similar thing. I've dressed up for like a premiere, I guess. And I'm the opposite. I still cringe at that shit. I still think, man, that was cringe as fuck.
Okay, how old were you when you dressed up?
14, 15 maybe?
Well, there were people at our No Way Home screening that were dressed up that were our age. And that was
the thing is, it's not so much just the dressing up part that made me cringe, because I feel like anyone can dress up if they want to, right? I don't think it's a problem with dressing up. It's just because it's me and it's what I dressed up as and where I went that makes me cringe.
What did you dress up as, Ryan?
Okay, all right, here we
What
go.
did you dress
I'm
up
gonna
as?
fucking explain
Come on,
myself.
tell us.
Okay, look. For one of my birthdays, one of my friends, they got me a Bleach cosplay.
Oh
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
dude,
Hell yeah,
dude, with the giant ass sword as well.
No, I didn't get the sword, but I got everything else.
Boo! I don't want it then. You can have it back. I just want that big ass sword. Sorry. Anyways, continue. Yeah, continue.
There's not much else to it really. I got the cosplay. Yeah. Okay, no. Here's the most cringe part. Oh my god, I'm cringing already just thinking about it. This is. Everyone listening, please don't judge me. I'm a different person now. I swear to God, this is fucking like 7 years ago. I promise.
Oh.
Okay, look, listen. I cosplayed as Ichigo. Okay, to the premiere of Naruto the Last.
Bro.
God.
How'd you know?
I don't know. I really don't know.
There's nothing. You must have gotten some really
honestly,
bad
but
looks.
to be honest, respect that you did that, because even me as a kid, I was so embarrassed with, like, whenever I'd cosplay, I never liked doing it. Like I liked doing it, but I always felt like I was being judged. So that's my perspective. Even
in fact, I think the only reason I even did it was because I went to watch the movie with the people that got me the cosplay, and I felt bad about not using it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use it. This is kind of like a big occasion. It was for us because we were really into Naruto at the time. So I was like, okay, I'll just fucking, I'll do it because I feel kind of bad because they got me this gift and I never use it because I just cringe every time I put it on. But yeah, now I look back and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? I really regret it.
Okay. All right. Question. Do you still have it?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I think I do.
Can you send me a photo of it?
God.
I want to see
Oh,
this thing so bad.
Okay, look, you're right. Look, yeah, afterwards I'll send you a photo.
Thank you.
Although I think I've lost
that'd
some
be
of the the pieces of it though, you know.
Oh, I've lost all my cosplay.
What kind of
shit
stuff
when
did
I
you
was a
have,
kid.
Ollie?
I think I have like, I had heaps. Oh, because like I was really into it. I liked it. I just didn't want to. I just didn't do it in public because
That's
I
like the
would get
opposite to me.
embarrassed.
I've never liked the idea. I respect the craft of cosplay, but like I just could never do it. I'm not that like
Because
outgoing.
yeah. Anyway, because one of the major cosplays that I got and actually put a lot of money into was I got a Attack on Titan
Ooh.
like full
Yeah.
thing, like full thing. And it was fucking dope. It was pretty sick. It's just I grew out of it really quick because it was like I got that when I was like 14. So
Yeah.
so it didn't fit for very long. I've still got the jacket. It's just everything else is just gone. I've actually still got the cape as well. Those are the only two that I kept because they still sort of fit.
Am I crazy for not actually? I still have not watched Attack on Titan yet.
Dude,
I haven't even started it.
You are missing out. I hate to be like
No, that's
one of those
fine,
guys, like,
honestly.
oh yeah, but like, honestly,
No, I am
it's
missing
really
out.
good.
I haven't. I've purposefully stayed away from it because I do want to watch it. But like you hear, like I haven't heard a lot because I've kept my ears out of it. But bro, the shit that like people talk about, I'm like, what are you? Are you insane? Like the shit that I hear.
Yeah. Honestly, with a lot of animes, if I on the rare occasion I watch it, I like to watch it when it's not hyped. So when I do watch it, I don't feel like I have to remember what the fuck happened to have a conversation
Yeah,
about
no, that's
it.
fair.
And that's what I sort of did with Attack on Titan. I watched it I watched the first season when it was hyped, but then after that, I kind of delayed watched it. So like, after the hype was dead, then I'd watch it. So I don't feel like I'm watching it just because it's hyped. I want to watch it because
That's
I want to
fair.
watch
I
it.
mean,
and I feel like that's probably why I've
I
stayed
watched
into it.
Squid Game because I was hyped for it, and that was it. The only reason why.
Yeah, I watched it too. I genuinely enjoyed Squid Game, but because it was so hyped, I didn't really want to talk about it because everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, to be honest,
non-stop.
Squid Game's good, and I was thinking about it recently. I went, "Fuck! I just have not thought about this show ever since, like 2021 when it was a thing, and now no one talks about it.
Such
It is a good show.
Though. It's such a good
shame.
show. Like I might rewatch it soon and just like have like none of the hype is in my head and just rewatch it as a show because I love like Koreans are very creative with their
Korean
shows.
cinema is brilliant, and I'm glad to see that.
Like it's really creative. Like there's so many shows on Netflix from Korea that are just so unique.
I know so many people that love K-dramas,
and I love it.
Yeah. There's also a lot of people that love K-pop, but that's a whole different worm that I'm not willing to open right now. I think it's great that Korean dramas are starting to like be popularized because Koreans are great at dramas, action, and horror. Those three they excel in. Like it is great thing.
Especially like gore, like violence. They're pretty violent. Like a lot of the Korean stuff is really violent.
Old Boy is Korean. Yeah, it is. Old Boy is Korean.
Yeah.
Train to Busan is really good if you haven't seen it.
Really good.
Its sequel isn't that
I didn't
good,
even watch
but
it because it didn't look that good to me.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. I didn't even watch it. There's that one. There's a one where the guy's trapped in the apartment. I forget what it's called.
Alive? Is it called Alive?
I think it is Alive. I don't know. It's really good though. But yeah, no, I think it's good to see that Korean cinema is finally getting the recognition that it deserves because it is good. Like Korean cinema is genuinely good, but people there hasn't been a market for it in the West until like I think when anime started popping up and like the Eastern Asian markets like Japan and Korea and like Hong Kong cinema, that sort of stuff started to really get popularized and all that. But anyways.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to see these new shows come out. Like I remember a little bit before Squid Game, I found this show on Netflix
Oh
called
yeah,
Alice in Borderland. Very similar style
yeah.
to like Squid Game,
Mm.
and that's probably why I was still into Squid Game because I just came out of watching like finishing off that season of Alice in Borderland, and it's cool. Like there's like the same premise of like the games and the chance of death and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's in a different
Anyways,
way.
oh, actually, before we continue, Oliver, happy birthday from everyone. Don't think that we didn't forget about you. Happy.
Oh, here I was sat there thinking that no one gives
No,
a
we
baby
love you,
shit.
brother. Are you 20?
Thank
You're
God.
20 now,
Oh.
yeah?
No, I'm
Yeah, okay.
12.
12.
How does it feel? Like, how does it
I
feel
don't
being, like, 20 now? Does it feel any different at all, by any chance?
No. I mean,
Nah, not
Is
really.
this telling- No.
honestly, like the only difference is now that I can't classify myself as
Yeah.
a
I missed
teenager.
that. Honestly,
which
I
is
missed
annoying.
that. I turned 20. I
I
was like,
missed
fuck.
it. Like,
I'm holding on to it right
because
now. Like, really
you feel
holding
like
on to it.
the older that you get, the more you feel like that you have to let go of shit that's like a teenager thing, even though that kind of sucks. Like I have to feel like I have to act more responsible. I'm not going to, but I have that feeling that I need to act more responsible. But
See, I had that feeling.
I don't know. It's
but
gay.
I sort of thought to myself, like, sorry to interrupt you, by the way, Ollie. I sort of thought to myself,
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm gonna do what I want at my own pace,
Yeah.
and there's a time and a place for everything. If you want to like, hang on to your youth and be a little like, I guess, immature at times, that's fine. It's just a matter of knowing when to be mature. I
Yeah.
think that's the most important
Yeah,
part.
well, that's the point of maturity, that you start to read the room and know a time and place to be
Exactly.
a dickhead.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm scared to be 30.
Oh,
I don't
God,
once I
same.
get to 30,
Everyone,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna name myself off
There's a
bridge.
big jump between 20 and 30. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Like when I turn 30, I'm just gonna name myself off a bridge and just end it because I don't want to be 30.
Look, I don't think anyone does.
Like that's when my
That's the
life
funny
ends.
thing. Like, there's been such a fucking paradigm shift. Like not long ago, or at least like more than a decade ago, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to be old. Oh yeah, I can't wait to be like an adult. I'm like 30," and now it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, people used to do it. Like I know that a lot of older people, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to feel like I'm young because then they think I'm stupid." Sometimes I like it when I'm a bit naive because I don't know, you keep learning shit. You don't feel like you have to know shit.
It's not even about being
don't have
naive
that
for me.
pressure
It's
of
just
being
like
old.
simply I don't like being old.
Yeah.
I like being young.
Yeah, no,
Being
me
young is
too.
just more appealing to me.
Yeah, no shit, because we're young.
Exactly.
I think.
I just can't believe
Yeah.
Who
that
knows?
it's been
We'll probably we'll probably become 40 and be like, yeah. this is the
Especially
life.
especially
Fuck that
as
young
like
shit.
the youngest person in the group. Like, you guys are fucking old now. Like, no offense.
Shut up,
Old
Michael. I will end
bastards.
your life.
Shut up. Fuck you.
Me-
You know, I can't call Ryan a boomer anymore because now I'm turning into one. I had fun with that while it lasted.
Yeah.
Dog, you're only a year behind me too. Fuck you, Ollie.
Well, no,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
What are you? You're 20. You're like nearly 30.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up.
You are 30. You fucking
No, you're like 21. Like turning 22
mate.
this year, aren't you?
Maidens?
No maidens. Okay.
Like,
Okay,
turning
so you're
22 this
you're like
year?
almost 2 years behind me. Almost.
Yeah. When are you turning 22?
June.
Oh, you're one of those.
One of
What?
those people.
Where does that come from?
Oh, your birthday's in June.
Wow, cringe.
You're close to the cutoff year.
Yeah. Look,
I hate that shit. That's actually like the dumbest rule that schools ever.
Oh, the
introduced,
cutoff
is
year.
The cutoff point. That's so dumb. Doesn't make sense because you
look. Actually, I agree. I agree with that. I hate that too. But I'll tell you what. I take
It's
pride in my
dumb.
birthday because I was born at the start of a generation, and this is like right in the middle of the year. I'm happy with that.
I like being in the middle. I like being at the start because I just get over and done with it and
Yeah.
just move on with the rest of the year.
Don't.
It's cool to start a year with a birthday at least. Like I think after March, it kind of be like.
Does anyone
okay,
else
I gotta
find
wait for this
like
month.
when people ask what do you want for your birthday stressful? I find that fucking stressful.
I just say
I
money.
don't
I'm
want
just like,
money,
dude, give me
though.
like give me
The thing
50
is
and
though
then
is that
I'll
like
just-
I
if,
don't
like,
want money.
I say if you really want to, yeah, I'm like if you really want to, just give me money because I can just use that money to.
Oh
buy
yeah,
what I want.
100%. I get that.
But I usually just say honestly, you don't have to bother. I don't really care.
Well, I mean, James didn't bother, but that's something you can.
that's James.
Oh, yeah.
And plus it's a bit different because he's a family member. Like he kind of
And
feels
he's
obliged.
also like rolling
Rich as
rolling
fuck.
in the bank.
Not to dox James in any way.
He's rolling in deep.
Rich. He's got.
He's an
money.
astronaut.
He's got
He has
money.
ties.
He's an astronaut in the ocean. That guy.
My brother is a fucking. He's a crime boss. He just has it.
Oh shit! All right. I guess sort of I'm gonna transition away from that now because sort of like 10th episode in, we've gone through a bit. We've had people come and go. Studios have been abandoned after sound issues plentiful of times. I'm just sort of like going back. And if you guys can even remember going back, is there any sort of thing that's like over the past 10 episodes that you've gone and said, yep, like that's been a great experience that we've had over these past 10 episodes? Is there anything like that so far? Because we're still this is still like year one. Like I like the idea of like Batman year one sort of thing. So like this is still late night limited year one sort of thing. Is there anything that you guys have taken away from the first 10 episodes that you can go off and say, yeah, look, I'm really proud about that sort of thing?
I mean, honestly, like comparing to first episode to now, just the jump in audio quality is a big thing.
Like
I've enjoyed that. Just hearing the audio quality get better and better.
Certainly,
each time.
the production value has gone
really
up.
Cool.
Ever since episode 1. I mean, you go back and you listen to episode 1, and like my microphone was like I've had the same microphone throughout the entire time, and now I think I actually have the worst microphone because everyone else got better microphones than I did. But
I'd say just even starting the series.
There was a lot of hesitation for us when it came out to even starting a podcast because everyone had it in their minds that every bloke thinks that they can start a podcast sort of thing. And you sort of like looking back on it now, it's kind of crazy. And I did actually underestimate just how much shit goes into making a podcast. Yeah.
I mean, just the management alone to like when it gets to a certain point where you like need to start actually making an income off the podcast because you want to start doing it full time. Like management alone is such a thing.
Management, editing, like making sure everything's sort of in check, kind of thing. All that is sort of not talked about quite a bit. And I'll tell you what, I was starting to feel burnt out by episode 5, like editing, directing, marketing, and all that. And that's why lovely Nick has actually taken over the social media sort of side of stuff.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad because you've definitely taken on the most responsibility and roles in this.
No, I love it. I love the responsibility of like, this is what I gotta do. This is how I gotta do it. I love that responsibility, but fuck, it takes it out of you because we're all balancing for us. We're all balancing the podcast, work, school, and just having a social life. But it's been I think a really good growing experience. Being able to like come in almost every week because we've taken weeks off and shit's happened like floods and all that, and we tried recording in that sound studio that just doesn't work. But sort of coming every week and sort of coming in and sort of being able to just talk with some of your best mates that you've known for like ever and have a podcast, and then because essentially I've started a business with some of my best mates, and that's a positive that I go into every week. I sort of go into it and say, this is like I've started a business. And people say never go into business with your friends. Well, those people just probably don't have very good friends because genuinely this has been one of the most rewarding experiences so far, and we're only 10 episodes in. But yeah, sort of.
I mean, yeah, I'd just like to say just the resilience for all you guys. Like that's mildly appreciated. With like, no matter how shit your day was, coming on here every week and just talking about stuff. Like, I think that's definitely a fucking thing to applaud and trying to.
I mean, obviously, we're not saying like we haven't had fights or anything or created different.
Yeah, no beef. I mean, fuck you.
Ryan, hey, what the fuck, dog?
But it's just cool to see that like no matter how shit or like how busy our day is to to put aside time for
Yeah.
this
It's been it's been really rewarding. You know, we have this creative outlet that we can go into now and say, hey, look, what do you guys want to talk about this week on the podcast? Whether it be Dying Light 2. I remember me and Ryan at one point, it was just us, and we talked about Halo.
That was actually a really good podcast.
That was actually really good. Halo. We talked about
Yeah.
Halo Infinite, and we talked about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, I was really worried about that podcast because, like,
and we fucking
because I was like, damn, it's just the two of us. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like make up for all that loss, like, you know, all that loss, like, you know, other people.
Yeah,
but that was a really good episode. I
yeah,
really enjoyed that.
We did really. I was surprised about it myself.
Yeah. That's not why.
But certainly, like, yeah, like I was saying, it's been more rewarding than anything. So being able to just come on here, semi week after week, and go, hey, let's just, you know, chill out. Let's just, you know, have fun, have a bit of fun. Sort of just, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I just sort of like this.
Oh, well said. Well said.
Obviously, people like, you know, James isn't here to give his comment and all that, but you know, I'm sure he would say the same thing. We like James. We like having James on the podcast because he chews up a lot of time, so we can actually talk about other stuff.
Yeah, I think for me, probably. I know this is a bit cheesy. It's kind of a cop-out answer, but I think just the whole thing, like the fact that, you know, we came up with the idea, well, you guys mainly, and you know, we started it, we stuck to it, and we're still going 10 episodes later. We're like Michael said earlier, it's not like we haven't had our like trials and tribulations, but we're still going, you know, despite it all. And I'm really stoked about that.
To be honest, those like Ryan says, those trials and tribulations have only made it stronger. Have only made this podcast stronger, 100%.
I think it's very cool that we're still going, because I feel like it would have been so easy for us to just quit and give up.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where there's been, like, in 10 episodes alone, I can tell you from my personal experience, there's been a lot of times where I've felt like burnt out, and I've sort of gone like, fuck, why are we even doing this? But you know, it's what's rewarding isn't, you know, I don't mean to sound like disingenuous. I don't do this for the fans, or I don't do this for that. Obviously, it's a factor, and I love everyone that listens to us, and we didn't even plan on people listening to us. Like, we never even planned on it. But it's rewarding just being able to, you know, come on the podcast every week and go, hey, how's your week been? You know, what you guys been up to? What you guys been playing? Are you guys enjoying this or that sort of thing? That's what I think has been just the most rewarding out of all of it.
That's another thing too. I don't know exactly how many people like listen to us on a daily basis, but I do know there is, like, you know, there are people. I do know there is a little bit of like a following, I guess, and I genuinely can't believe that there are people that actually enjoy listening to us. Like that's crazy.
You know why though, Ryan? You know why?
Why is that?
Because you are such an interesting person.
Me?
That's why. I'm not even kidding. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think people listen to this shit because of you and Michael. You and Michael are the other talent.
Fuck off.
You keep the
No
shit
fucking way, bro. It's everyone.
You did an entire podcast, just you two.
Yeah. Look,
2 hours.
Yeah, but that was Spider-Man.
Just as easily.
No, I'm just saying, like,
I think
I appreciate what you're trying to do, Oli. You're a good cunt for that, but you just flat it wrong. Like,
I think
you're just bugging, bro.
I think also another thing that sort of like helps us a lot with us is that we've all known each other for so long that we just play off each other like naturally, and that's just how it works now. Like,
I feel like any two of us could get into a podcast and actually come up with like an hour and a half material to talk about.
Oh fuck! The shit alone that me and Ryan talk about like, fucking hell.
But look, I don't want to pass
it ends up turning into like a therapy session or some shit.
I don't want to pass this that way. Like I don't want to hear you say shit again. Okay, it's not just me and Michael. It's everyone.
Oh, it's everyone, 100%.
It's everyone.
It's everyone.
I was talking to James about this, and I said, because James, he has this thing where he thinks it's only my podcast, and I tell him every time, I say, James, it's not my podcast, it's our podcast, you know, sort of thing. And that's all it is, really. But yeah, what about you, Nick? What do you find that's been most rewarding about sort of starting this podcast and starting this journey, I suppose?
I don't know. I guess it's just the fact that we get to, we get to talk about we get to, I guess, a bit more elaboration than what we used to do. Like sometimes we used to just talk about it, and sometimes we didn't even get to. Sometimes it even got it wasn't just a normal conversation. Sometimes they just get in an outright argument. Sometimes
those are the best. Those are the best conversations that we have. Is when we just have full on arguments with each other.
Because I think at least what's good with these is that we have a bit more elaboration on it than what we usually do. So sometimes we're just like, yeah, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. That's it. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, certainly. And we've all had this ability of having a our voice, our specific voice, and to be able to actually use our voices to people and have people listen to us is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy to me too.
You know what's
I genuinely can't believe.
You know what's actually crazy to me is the fact that my mum and my dad say, "Oh, how's the podcast going?" That's crazy.
That's so cool.
That's crazy to me.
That is actually so cool.
That's crazy to me. The idea that my parents know that I have a podcast and they go,
"That's
my
sick.
parents,
what the hell?"
being just the supportive people they are, they go, "Oh, when's the panel? When's the panel? We'll be there," sort of thing. It's like, fuck.
That is so
That is
good.
so cool.
Yeah.
That
is
is
so good.
No, I love they're
Oh,
great.
that is
I love
cool.
my parents.
That is so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, you deserve that support because you've been really cracking out with the podcast.
Yeah, no, you've worked hard.
Yeah,
honestly,
but it's
I
not.
think-
It's. I don't want to turn this into a group reach around session sort of thing. But the
No, but honestly, your management alone has made this entire
literally
thing
would
possible.
be
At some point when we start getting a better equipment, I'm sure it can spread around. But at the moment, you've been editing, you've managed the panel that we're doing, and at some point you were doing a little bit of socials. But then
thank God for Nick, because if Nick can do socials better than I can, I don't understand the fucking thing.
Oh, Nick, you're killing it.
Yeah.
Compliment. Just bring the compliment, Nick.
Let's all just fucking
socials.
You're a fucking god.
Steady on.
Okay. I love that.
Steady
I love
on,
that with
man.
Nick. Steady on.
Steady on.
I also want to say, with how we act, and as you guys would have seen on some of the things I've been uploading, it's because the random shit that we say sometimes is what people like.
Like the bull semen thing that was in last.
Fuck me.
podcast.
No, this is coming. Fuck, man.
That was so
I'm
fucking
funny. So weird because of that, bro. Fuck hell.
Yeah, and I think Nick.
Man, Brian.
Yeah,
Guys, I swear I'm not that dumb. Okay, I promise.
Yes, you are.
I'll kill you.
Shit. We have fun.
awesome,
We have
though.
fun here. We have fun here.
We do a little bit of trolling.
A little bit.
We are the little maidens.
I haven't. No one's played Elden Ring, Ryan. No one gets the fucking reference.
No, the people that get it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know when you go.
But yeah, look. From the get go, I always wanted to put my best foot forward. So for me, I talk about this a lot. I take a lot of inspiration when it comes to this channel. I take a lot of inspiration from channels like Rooster Teeth from the past, Sugar Pine 7 from the past, those old and glorious sort of YouTube channels where it was like a family sort of thing. I know that's really toxic to say nowadays, the whole it's a family sort of thing. But yeah, look, if you guys know Rooster Teeth from the olden days, then that was the golden day. That was the golden age of YouTube. Old Rooster Teeth, season 10 of Red versus Blue Rooster Teeth sort of stuff. Fucking miss Rooster Teeth, eh?
I don't remember much about
Yeah,
it.
you're kind of sucking off
I love
Rooster
Rooster
Teeth.
Teeth.
I used to watch them a bit, but it's been
Yeah,
so long.
because I used to be a fucking nerd and like Ruby in high school, which was social suicide for me. But I didn't care. I liked the show, and that was Ryan. You say when you look back on things and you cringe. I cringe at that phase of my life when I was a Ruby fan. Ugh.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think that's that bad. I'm just gonna be honest.
I don't know.
If you saw me in high school, it'd make you look like nothing. I was such a fucking nerd, fucking weeb looking ass. It was so bad.
I mean, I never had that phase where I was like, my life's an anime sort of thing. Thank God I never had that phase, and I never ever want to have that phase.
No, you're too old for that. You won't now.
Yeah, but I don't know. it's nice to know that you can go into YouTube now, and the scope of this platform is so big where you could literally do anything and people will come and support you. I mean, obviously, people will come and knock the shit out of you as well, which is half the fun of it, to be honest. But
that's just how it is.
yeah,
you're gonna get bits of both.
I love that. I love that aspect where it's like the Wild Wild West, the internet.
Yeah,
It is honestly the Wild Wild West.
But I agree with you. Like the fact that even we can get like an audience, even if it's not the biggest, it's just crazy.
I just love the idea that people of any scale and will come and support us, and that's that's what.
By the way, I know we say it often, but like, thank you so much to everyone that listens. Like,
100%, yes, thank you so much.
Like, the time you like give us is not like we don't look past it. We appreciate it every second.
Every second, giving us an hour of your day might not seem like a big deal to you, but to us, it's massive. So thank you for that.
It's so cheesy, and everyone says shit like that now. Like it really is oversaturated. But like,
it becomes meaningless. But
at the same time, you have to say it, because if you don't say
100%.
it, like you just have to say it, even if it is cheesy and oversaturated. It's something that needs to be said.
Yeah, certainly, and that's
it doesn't mean we don't mean it like any less either.
Yeah,
and that doesn't make it less genuine for us.
And that's not just for the people watching us on YouTube. That's the people who tune in to us on Spotify, to Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, literally.
To everyone. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts.
I mean, I'll go on YouTube and I'll see 35 in views, and I'm like, no way. I'm like, holy shit, that's way too many people.
Yeah, I don't know why people are
like already, like, just imagining 35 people in a room is such a massive amount of people.
Yeah.
Like, people look at it as numbers. I look at it as people, like in a room. And even if it had 100, that's so many people.
Yeah. Like if you visualize 100,
that's a lot of people who sat down, clicked play, and chose to listen. Is just amazing.
Even the people that didn't like us or couldn't get on board with the podcast. Even if you didn't like it, as long as you gave us a little bit of time, we appreciate it.
Honestly,
I don't know why you'd hear this, because if you gave up on us, you wouldn't be here. But on the off chance, thanks guys.
Thank you. While we're talking about thank you to James from the UK. Without you and your support, holy fuck, I actually do not know where we'd be right now.
He is such a good lad.
Yeah, Jaden. James, thank you. Thank you to Jaden for showing up for those episodes of the podcast. While one of us was sick or whatever. Thank you to that. We actually really appreciate that. But yeah, look.
I like having Jaden on.
Yeah, Jaden's a different animal altogether. Like,
he's different. Like, he has his moments, but like, I think genuinely, like, overall, Jaden, he helps the podcast stay alive.
It's nice to know that someone's looking out for you when one of us is sick. When I had that swollen lip the size of Texas thing, or whatever, So thank you, Jaden, for your help during those times and all that. But yeah, all right. Back to the podcast. Look, it's
fucking hell.
It's yeah.
Hey, all right. So, topic. I don't know if you guys. I think it's only me and James at the moment. But this new Cyberpunk update.
Oh yeah, you guys have been playing the shit out of that.
Yeah, I've played the shit out of. I've been playing it for like 3 days straight. If you guys are thinking about getting Cyberpunk or thinking, oh, maybe I should jump back into it, I think you really should. This new update has definitely it makes the game what it should have launched at. There's still bugs here and there, but overall, it's an excellent game now. Like, there's so much shit to do in the game that can, like, the amount of apartments and vehicles alone you can just buy. It's really cool. Really good update. Keep it up.
I hate to say it, but like, I was never really that interested in Cyberpunk to begin with. I was hyped for it a bit.
No, same. Like, when it first launched and me and James were playing through it together, I was like, yeah, this game is cool, but it's not as good as it was hyped, and it never will live up to its hype, because it's like, as much as like it's been hyped, it's a mediocre game. It's not good.
It's sort of like a shitty GTA. is the best way.
Oh
I could
no, I
describe
wouldn't
it.
say that. I think it's way fucking better at GTA. At least they listen to their fan base on like GTA. But it's a really good story. Like it's a really good, what is it? Like pick your own story
Yeah,
kind of thing. Like it's got a lot
it's
of
its
shit
own.
to do.
It's like a massive. It's like a cyberpunk Mass Effect sort of game.
Yeah, it's not as expansive as they
Mm.
said, but it's still expansive enough where it feels like your decisions are impacting the
Oh
story
yeah,
in a way,
100%.
and just the endings alone. So if you are into that kind of stuff, I would recommend picking up Cyberpunk again and giving it a
Yeah.
shot because
Even
I'm genuinely having a blast playing it. It is such a fun
even
game.
prior to release, I wasn't that hyped for it, but I did end up getting it the night it came out. I even though I was like on the fence about it, somewhat. Well, not
Mm.
really. Even though I wasn't like super interested into it, I was like, "Fuck it." There's like a lot of hype. If it's good, I want to be there with everyone experiencing it.
Yeah,
Day one.
that's sort
And
of
so
what
I
I
got
had
it.
as well. Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
buy
Yeah,
it.
it's an interesting game because I usually don't play those RPG, MMO, whatever the fuck you want to call them, because I usually get bored. Like I'm someone who doesn't like The Witcher. I don't enjoy The Witcher. I just couldn't find my place in it. But this is like one of the first games that I've played and went like, this is a really good single player game, and I choose to play this on my free time, not because I feel like I have to, but because I want to. And it's the first time in a very long time I've craved to play a single player game. So I think it's so in that retrospect, I
Yeah,
like
the
it.
last sort of single player game that I sort of craved playing was like BioShock Infinite. That was the last single player game I sort of craved playing.
Mm.
Really, that one?
Yeah, look, I've played through like Breath of the Wild and all that stuff, and it's good. But it just like I don't know, it's just not really my cup of tea, and I can see why it is a cup of tea for a lot of people. Legends Arceus was shit. I don't know why people like it. It's a disappointment. Ugh, that game is so disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, even like Halo Infinite, like I know that like it's a really good game and I was hyped, but I didn't crave
Yeah,
playing it. I played it, I finished it, and I was like, that's a really good
yeah.
game. Like that was really fun, but I didn't want to jump back in and do all the side content and 100% the story and stuff. I haven't had that craving yet, and that's I don't know if that's just me
I crave.
or if it's just the
Yeah,
game
look,
might
I
be good.
craved like the single player when it first launched. Like all I wanted to do was play it, but then like I just sort of like afterwards I just kind of got bored. I was just like,
No, yeah, it was the exact same for me.
Yeah, and it's probably because it's missing that cooperative
Yeah.
play, and it's been delayed again. Like Forge and co-op has been delayed, annoyingly again because they want to make room for the new tier
I
system.
don't know
Probably.
why
That-
co-op and Forge.
that's what I
That
hate.
it just seems like the easiest thing to fucking do, doesn't it?
Co-op
Yeah,
does.
well,
To me,
it's-
co-op
it's-
does.
Obviously, Forge needs
Yeah,
time.
co-op because co-op is there. It's in the code. Forge is sort of there. Like I can understand Forge because how do you top Halo 5's Forge? Like Halo 5's Forge was apparently the best Forge.
Halo 5's Forge.
And I think if it, yeah, Halo 5 had apparently had one of the best
Oh.
forges in the entire.
I was
series,
always
and
under the impression that Breach's Forge was the best.
you know, Reach's Forge is definitely a lot better. But Halo 5 apparently it was really good because it had a lot of tools. The controls are apparently a lot smoother, and the what do you call it? The connecting, like so you can like make a flat surface is a lot easier because in Reach you gotta fiddle with it a lot. Apparently and there's a lot more building blocks and a lot more open maps to build on.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So yeah, because like apparently you can build because there's apparently in Halo 5 there's a map that's just water and you can build an entire island from scratch. So
yeah, no, I get that.
that's a pretty good forge.
Yeah, going on that, like Halo, like games that like I really wanted to like sink my teeth into, I've sort of not had that feeling for a game in a very long time, which is kind of disappointing. Because there are a lot of games that I want to sink my teeth into and sort of like play, but like you get that sort of thing now. I get that sort of thing nowadays where there are some games now I just don't want to play. Like I don't want to play. Like I have a whole fucking library of games on my Xbox I do not want to play anymore, which is disappointing.
No,
I actually saw a very interesting YouTube video. Sorry if I
No, you're
interrupted
right.
anyone, but I saw this really good video. It was I forget what I think it was titled "Why Do You Feel Like You're Burnt Out in
Mm.
Video Games?" And he went into some like stuff about how one of the main reasons you probably might not feel like playing video games is just because like you're burnt out, like you've either you've played a lot or you're busy or some
Mm.
kind of shit. And I need to rewatch the video because I've forgotten a lot of his points, but it's not just because like it's not just me because like I'm definitely been burnt out for a very long time, and I thought that was just me, but apparently it happens to it's been happening to a lot of people who've grown up in our age and have been burnt out and don't really want to play
Mm.
anymore.
There is certainly that stigma where a lot of
Mhm.
people are sort of just bored of video games now, and I've sort of reached that
And-
point recently.
And it probably doesn't help that companies like to release games
Half-baked.
unfinished.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. I want that to
Yeah.
die. It needs to just be
Modern
finished. Like,
gaming. Oh well.
just the business behind gaming is just it's just money first, customers second. Like I
Yeah.
hate that.
It's a
shit.
shame, but yeah.
It's like imagine if you ordered a glazed donut and it's only half glazed. Like you're gonna be annoyed because it's
Steady
like
on.
I wanted full glazed. I was
Steady on.
promised
Steady
full
on.
glazed. Like it's the same thing
Where's
with this
Nick?
though.
Steady
Like
on.
you buy a product for the same price as the full product, but you only get half the
Yeah.
product. Like how is that not illegal?
Modern gaming.
see, I'm a little different in that I am like bored of gaming a little bit in general as a whole.
No, you're not. You always play video games.
Yeah, yeah.
so-
That's the thing though. Like any new game that I'm like even remotely excited for, I will get it day one, and I will just play the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah, same. 100%. Yeah.
Like my ability
Yes, I know.
to fucking slay a game like nonstop is actually like I can't believe how still cracked it is.
No, yeah, I get that.
So I just remembered something. So you know how you said something about the game not being finished and all that, like games are never finished. It just reminded me of like Michael, the story you told us about like how you got like the burger with no patties.
Oh my god. Yeah, the ultimate like fuck you from McDonald's. I still cannot believe that actually happened. So for people who don't know, this was years ago. I went to McDonald's one time. This was when I was like at my peak, like when I was playing like really good rugby, and I was told I have to eat like all the time, like protein, and of course my fat ass went to McDonald's because my idea of protein was saturated fats. So whatever. And I went to McDonald's one time. I walked in. I ordered I think it was a Big Mac, and I ordered it. And I remember picking up the package and thinking, "Fuck, this is a bit light." But it's like whatever, doesn't matter. I'm going home. As I'm walking home, I'm like, "Fuck, this feels too light." And I go to the park, and I go to pick up my my sandwich, and I pick it up, and it's a Big Mac, right? And there's everything in it. So you know, the burger, the bun, the lettuce, the pickles, the onions, the special sauce, all of that's there, except the one fucking thing that you expect from a burger, which is the patty. But there's no patty, and it was what the fuck? Like, and at that point, I was so far away from the McDonald's, I just didn't even have like the like the energy to go back and go, what the hell is this sort of thing? So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just eat it. So I just ate the burger with no fucking patty.
God, I don't know if I can eat a Big Mac without patties, man.
I don't know either.
It's just bread, sauce,
It's
cheese.
a lot of bread.
It is a lot of bread. Oh well, I was like 14. I didn't give a shit. I ate the fuck out of that thing.
I respect that.
I still
I
don't give a
respect
shit.
that.
I didn't even like.
If they fuck up my order in Macca's, I hate being that guy that's gonna be like, "Hey, but you gave me unsalted chips.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
I
What kind of
hate
establishment are you
being
running here?"
the sort of Karen. It's like,
Mm.
I ordered an iced latte. This is a iced long black. I want your job. Give me your job. Give me.
I want your job.
Give it to me now.
Trust
I
me,
can do it
yeah.
better than you.
McDonald's is trash.
I always say like, if they forget something, then like, yeah, maybe you say something because you've literally paid extra for
nothing essentially.
Yeah.
less. But if they mess up, like let's say they give you a fucking, you buy a quarter pounder and they give you two patties for like they give you the cheeseburger patties instead of just a quarter pounder patty. I wouldn't give a shit. I just eat it because I'm still getting that burger. It's just different. So like,
I really think it depends on the way you approach it. It just depends on the situation. Like for example, say you order a meal, and your chips like let's take the example from earlier. Your chips are unsalted, right? If you're sitting in the drive-thru and you notice, there's nothing wrong with going, hey, look, my chips are unsalted. Could you salt them, please? Because you're right there.
Yeah.
It's kind of your job to do that.
Yeah.
There should be nothing wrong with you having to ask that.
Yeah.
But I do agree.
Yeah, I understand
that. Like, you know, if you're past drive-thru, or if you're out of the store and you're too far, it feels bad like going all the way back there just to be like, yo, salt my fucking chips, bitch.
Yeah.
Someone
my chips ain't salted, huh?
Yeah.
Do you want to get capped?
You don't want the smoke. You don't want the smoke.
No, what the fuck smoke? Dude, I agree. I don't like being that guy.
Yeah.
Especially since I've worked in fast food and I know how terrible it can be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I might not know firsthand, but I know what goes on in the kitchen just from what I've been told.
Mistakes like that aren't always
being that guy makes their job just that. Even though it's their job and that's what they're paid for, they're not paid enough to deal with that. That's what I always think. I'm like, are they paid enough for me to get my chips resalted? No, they're not. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. I don't care.
Especially, like, and it's more prominent in places like America, and like those people aren't even being paid minimum wage. At least in Australia and New Zealand, we have the you know, I hate to say it.
I mean, it's still underpaid, but it is minimum
paid,
wage.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, our minimum wage is pretty underpaid.
But yeah,
especially for retail.
Honestly, minimum wage workers almost everywhere just are underpaid.
Yeah.
Like sure the jobs you don't need a fucking degree for usually, but it doesn't mean they're worth that little.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick, what were you saying?
I saw this video about this guy who goes through a drive-through, and this is in America. He goes through a drive-through, fast food drive-through, and he complains to this guy who gives him the food. He's like, "You always rush my order, and you never seem happy to be here." It's just like, bro, they rush your order because you're in a drive-through. Your fast food drive-through.
That was the wackest logic I've ever heard.
It's fast food. Like, it's not slow food.
Why would you go to a fast
food
food restaurant to the drive-through and then complain about your fucking order being like what?
Can you imagine that? You get your order in like 30 seconds. That was too quick. Sorry, take it back. That was too quick.
What the fuck?
I'm at McDonald's. I expect the most gourmet burgers. Excuse me?
I expect a 30-minute wait in a reception. I expect to be seated at my table. I expect to receive a menu.
Oh, stupid.
The red carpet to be pulled out for my car when I get my Big Mac.
If you want to wait 20 minutes...
Tell them that. If you want to wait 20 minutes, tell them, hey, can you wait 20 minutes for my order? Like, can you wait 20 minutes before you make my order?
People do know you can schedule an order. Like, you can go on the Macca's app. You can say, I want... You can order something 20 minutes before if you want to wait 20 minutes.
They'll just put it in 20 minutes later. Like, it's no biggie. If you're
just say don't take your time with my order. I don't care.
If you're the kind of psychopath that delays your order for no reason, then just tell them that. Just say, hey, can you wait 10 minutes before you make my order?
I'm sure they don't care. Like honestly,
we don't care.
If they're slammed, you say
people that work in hospital.
Yeah, if they're slammed, if they're slammed, and you say, can you do my order 20 minutes later? They'll just take your time with their order, and they'll just
people. And it's the same idea that people who like. You ever eat in a restaurant and then you want to go up and get something else and you think, fuck, these guys must think I'm a fat motherfucker. So we don't care. Just get up and order your second helpings. It's more money in the bank. We don't care. We get paid minimum wage to get this shit done. So, dude, seriously, get up there and go order your second filet mignon. We don't give a shit, all right?
And you deserve it too. If you want that second filet mignon, you deserve it.
Pick up your crown, king. Come on. Yeah,
for real though. Like even his other fucking argument, like, oh, you're never happy to serve. Like, bruh, he works at McDonald's minimum wage. What the fuck do you expect?
He's probably like
I'm not saying everyone should be miserable.
He's probably working at Hungry Jack's simultaneously.
The problem with these people is they don't understand that human like these fast food workers are humans too. You know, they've got their own personal shit that they're going through. And you know, it's okay for people to show up not happy because things in life are not going well. But for you to go up and say, "Hey, look, why aren't you serving my burger for a smile?" It's like
It's so unempathetic and tone deaf.
You
It's like,
you
what are you
don't
doing?
understand the struggle that this person is going through. Like, fuck, he could
I
have been
feel
kicked out of his house.
there's-
He could have lost his job. You don't know what, and yet you're making it worse.
Literally anything could be happening.
Yeah,
And it's not like McDonald's is the fucking nicest job ever either.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone is allowed to just be when you order a meal.
Yeah.
But like that's just you can't just be like, hey man, can you fucking stop being miserable even though you might be going through shit and be happy? It's like, bruh, the fuck are you on about?
I feel like it should be a policy that everyone who is a teenager, like everyone who grows up, has to work in fast food at some point, just so they have
Or
sympathy,
in hospitality
know.
at the very most.
or just hospitality in general. Like, yeah, any kind of customer service where you got to put up with bullshit like that will make people be.
It'll
less
make
like
people
that 'cause they
think
know how it
second. It'll make
feels.
people like second guess their actions when they're out.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Is there any other topics that we want to talk about before we wrap this thing up? Or if you guys are happy to wrap this thing up, or if you guys want to talk about something else?
I mean, I'm kind of having fun, but
Oh
if you
yeah,
want to wrap it up,
we'll
I'm
keep
cool
going.
with
Fuck it. If you want to have fun, we'll have fun.
that. I mean,
You got to segue into another topic, huh, big man?
I don't know, man.
Honestly,
nah,
if I'm
I
being
got one,
honest,
got one,
I could
got one.
honestly rant about this fucking Macca's thing for a while. It really
Same.
blows my
I
mind.
don't want
As
to,
someone who
but I
sort of
can.
works, I work in hospitality right now. I work in the nightlife sort of center, like hospitality thing. And I'll tell you what, people in like so I work as a glassy at a
And
nightclub.
you've already got a lot of good stories too.
I've already got a lot of good stories which are not family friendly and which I will not tell here. But
Nah, tell them.
yeah,
We
I'll tell.
That's what
Yeah.
we do.
I will not lose this job. I like everyone there. But anyways, like I was saying,
No, when
sort
you
of
come
like
The fourth year
like for me working in hospitality, there are people who we as like glassies who work from like the late hours of the night into the early hours of the morning. Like we sometimes come in not the happiest people in the world, and that's just how it is. And, that's human nature. And then the problem with that is that you have to you're not just dealing with regular patrons, you're dealing with patrons who are, they've had a few beers, they're feeling a bit loose, and they feel like they want to be like, a bit more chatty than usual. And like we just have to put on a smile and go, yeah, thanks for your support and all that. But deep down inside, we're all like, God, dude, we just want to get through the night, go home, go to sleep. And it gets really bad at like it just like for me I was working this is how much I hate taking days off. I was literally going to work with a busted lip, my throat was sore, I couldn't talk, and like I would still go to work and I'd get shit done, and like it was
You've
like
got a cracked work ethic.
it was
Say that.
oh no it wasn't it's unhealthy. My work ethic like genuinely was unhealthy, and my parents literally had to force me to stay in bed and then text and then say, you're not going to work, you're like really sick, you got to stay. And I was like, you know what, yeah, you're right, sort of thing. So people need to understand that people in hospitality, whether you're a Subway sandwich artist or you work in McDonald's or you work at a nightclub or a bar or whatever, is that sure people in hospitality are here to serve you and we're here to put it on and we're here to make your life as best as possible and we're here to make sure that you have the greatest experience and all that. But what places ask in return is just for you to show the same respect back. And you get all these stories about these Karens, complaining about their food order not being proper, or they're at Walmart and they're complaining that a certain item is out. It's like it is really disheartening, especially coming from a hospitality sector sort of thing.
Sorry to interrupt you, Michael. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wanted to say, like another thing too. It's not as if most of the time these people actually want to like serve you, unhappy. Like I feel like any normal person, right? They would want to serve a customer with a smile on their face. They want to give them that positive energy.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's the thing. Like, sure they might want to, but you never know what they're going through. Like, Like they
Yeah.
might want to, but that doesn't mean they can.
I
I
mean,
think we need to normalize understanding that sometimes you're not always gonna encounter someone that's got a smile on their face, and that could be for any reason.
obviously, like when like for me, and I'm sure this is the same thing for everyone who comes into work. Like you always want to come into work with a smile on your face, with your best foot forward. You know,
Yeah.
ready to start the day. You know, like excited to do your job, because I'm always excited to do. I'm always excited for the next day, sort of thing. But as the night sort of wears on, you start to realize the sort of clientele that you deal with, and it's like
Mm,
it is a bit disheartening, you know. But you know,
yeah.
you have to just put on a brave face and just continue working, sort of thing.
And that's exactly my point. Like no one wants to be unhappy. Everyone wants to serve customers, you know, with the best of intentions and a positive attitude.
Mm.
Sometimes it gets too much. Sometimes it's just too much for someone to handle, especially after, like you said, like a long time as the night wears on, for example. Especially people with long shifts.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I can almost guarantee that like most of the people that actually end up like serving you that you're dissatisfied with because of their attitude, they're probably like on like fucking 10, 12-hour shifts. They probably just want to go home. They're probably, you know, they're working minimum wage probably.
yeah. They just need to make ends meet, essentially.
Some people just don't have that like much energy.
Well,
You know,
you
some
know,
people just like
there are people
have those
that
problems.
I know, from high school that are literally living from paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet in hospitality. You know,
Exactly.
so
I'm not, yeah, like I said before though, I'm not saying that we should give everyone a pass for bad
oh,
service.
100% no,
Yeah,
certainly not.
it's just you need to you just need to understand that like you're not always going to have a positive experience with people, and that's
Mm.
normal.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's not human nature to feel happy all the time,
Exactly. Yeah.
genuinely. Um, and I think also the fact is, like, if you're getting mad at someone over like a meal or something like that, sure, it's frustrating, but why are you taking your anger out on some poor 14-year-old kid who's getting paid minimum wage to deal with your bullshit,
Yeah.
sort of thing? But you know, it is what it is, unfortunately.
Like
Mhm.
I feel like literally like no one, like well most people, like 99.9% of people, like physically just can't be happy and smile all the time.
Mm,
So, like unless you can confidently say, "Oh yeah, I could serve every customer with a smile on my face," like you
yeah,
need to understand that you probably like that at some point too. You probably, you know, serve someone or interact with someone, you know, not on your greatest mood. You know,
mm,
maybe you're stressed out, and you need to understand that that happens to everyone.
yeah, certainly. And it doesn't matter what field you're in, you're always going to feel differing emotions, sort of things. But
Yeah,
you just have to learn to put your best foot forward and to smile and tackle every single challenge that you've got, you know, with a positive attitude. Because I don't understand, and you know, there are people that I know that see, you know, the whole thing where it's like the glass is empty and the half empty, half full sort of thing. It's like everyone's gonna see the glass is half empty, and everyone's gonna see the glass is half empty, and at one point in everyone's lives, people are gonna see that the glass is half full.
how full. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true.
So it's like, you know, think how you want to think, and don't let your emotions get in the way of your judgment, sort of thing. But unfortunately,
Just
these
just think about just think about it before you flip out at someone. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth getting mad over this? Does this person really deserve my
Yeah.
anger?
but fuck, those Karen videos are just so funny. Just some of those Karen videos are so fucking funny.
And
Yeah.
honestly, like for someone who's worked with, like I haven't really done a lot of hospitality, but I have done
Yeah.
a little bit, and I've had points in my life where I've been really fucking down, and then I'll have someone come up to me, notice that, and then
Mm.
chat with me, and I've done that to people as well. Sometimes just having a chat with them. If you let's say you're getting bad service and you're like, okay, what's going on with you? What's happening? Like you can tell when someone's not at their peak performance, and sometimes even just having a simple chat will uplift
Yeah.
their day, increase their mood, and make their service better.
And
For
if they're not
people.
receptive to that, if their attitude still persists, then just leave them be. It's not worth
Yeah,
starting
just leave
anything
them.
over, right?
Yeah, some people just want to be left alone, or some people just need to vent, and venting to someone who, like wants to hear it is better than being vented at by someone who doesn't want to hear it. Like,
That's exactly right. I totally agree.
it goes both ways.
It does, yeah. It goes both ways, yeah. Actually, people can be more like forgiving of people, like others in the, like in the hospitality sector, especially, because it's rough there. Retail as well. Retail's pretty rough.
Especially during the whole pandemic that's happened. Like, retail has been one of the like most stressful jobs throughout this entire thing, even through like the Brisbane floods and all that stuff. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, people. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that some people can get so mad. But then, I do want to say there are examples where it can be maybe kind of justified depending on the circumstances. Like, let's take for example that fucking Macca's in Croydon that made that guy wait in his car for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Like, if someone is like outright being an asshole to you and like you're the customer, then yeah, you can say like, no, okay, dude, you're a fucking asshole. Stop it. Like, then you can start mouthing off to it, because you shouldn't be like.
I mean, at that point, I wouldn't endorse
mouth off. I wouldn't mouth off.
I just leave them. But I'm saying, like, that's when if you want to go Karen mode, that's when I'd see it respected. Is if someone's mouthing, if you're being mouthed off to, like, that's when I could see it. I just walk off and say, all right, whatever.
Like, recently, that I sort of like hate conflict in general. So like, for me, very recently, I hate conflict so much. I won't even lay on the honk my horn on my car unless someone's about to crash into me. That's how bad it got.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Michael. I have a very important question for you, just out of curiosity. You say like you're not a big fan of conflict, right? But say for example you've got a close friend.
Yeah.
And there's some beef between you.
I love hypotheticals.
Okay. All right. So yeah, say you've got a close friend, a close mate, and you've got some beef with them, or you've got some beef with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you hate conflict or confrontation, would you make that effort to resolve things with them if it meant confronting?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
That sort of conflict I do not mind getting into. I mean, I get into conflict with fucking James every other day of the week.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how a relationship works. But when I mean like,
that's what I was hoping you'd say.
Yeah. But like, when I say conflict, I mean like, so I think it was literally just yesterday. Just yesterday, I was going over to Office Works to pick up some stuff, and I'm in a lane. So I was literally in a lane, and this black BMW pulled up right next to me, right? So we're at the stop sign, whatever, and the light goes green. And there are cars in front of this lady, yeah. So she can't like continue into this lane. So I thought that she had her right indicator on to sort of like, okay, well, I can't go straight, so I'll turn right and just do the block and then get into the other lane again, sort of thing. But then as I'm driving, I realize that she's matching my speed so that she's playing a game of chicken with me and the cars in front of her that are parked. So I had to, and then she started indicating, right? She started indicating, and then I started realizing that as I'm going straight, she's starting to swerve into me as if she's indicating to sort of like she was going to hit me, essentially. She was going to hit me. So I had to, for the first, this was seriously like the second time I've ever had to use it. I had to lay into my horn to tell her to like chill. And then she stopped, pulled back, and then came in. And then I just sort of looked, that was the first time I've ever experienced something like that. And I was physically shaken up by it. I've never experienced like that.
I get that. I'm not a fan of confrontation either.
Yeah.
I empathize with that.
I mean, obviously when it comes to I play a lot of rugby. So there's confrontation that comes with that. But that's not real confrontation. That's rugby.
Yeah.
That's just people butting heads with each other. I hate this idea of real confrontation. I'm not.
I think for me personally, sorry against.
Yeah.
I think personally for me though, it's I'm not a fan of unnecessary confrontation.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Sorry, as you were saying, Michael.
Like what you're saying, Ryan. It's if confrontation needs to happen, I'm not one to shy away from it. But I hate this idea of people making confrontation up for the sake of confrontation. I hate that.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah.
especially for clout. That's
Oh, that is
Mm,
bad.
that's
man.
really
That
bad.
is bad. That's bro, that's a yuck.
That's a whole different can of worms. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh, bro.
Hmm.
I asked you that question because I know some people that like I can't fully blame them, right?
Mm.
But like they had conflict to the point where like they're not like they won't fight like to keep someone in their life that they care about.
Oh no, like yeah, I understand. Like people like that, I don't agree with because to love something, you have to fight for something.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
there's a Keanu Reeves thing that he did. Like I hate to sound like James, but there is a Keanu Reeves sort of quote that he talked about, and I'll put it in the podcast area here, where it's like to love something is to fight something, and I get that. Like there has to be conflict in whatever to show that you actually care for something.
Mm.
And that comes with everything, whether it be a family member, or like a loved one, a boyfriend, girlfriend, sort of thing. It doesn't matter. You know, conflict drives passion, sort of thing. And unnecessary conflict is what I try and stay away from. But
Yeah.
if push comes to shove, I will push back, sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And to add to that, I think you're gonna find conflict with anything given time.
Yeah.
Like nothing with enough time is going to be conflict free.
Mm.
Especially if we're talking about interpersonal relationships and friendships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you're bound to get into a conflict with anyone as long as you spend enough time with them and if you get close enough with them.
Yeah.
Like it's
mean,
just
yeah.
a fact.
Me and fucking James have fights every other night. Like you should hear some of these fights that we have. But that's
Yeah.
because me and him are like a fucking old married couple at this point.
I don't think it's like necessarily how often it happens.
Mm.
I think it's just how you deal with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, obviously, if it happens too often, like
Yeah,
you're not
like-
gonna like that's probably a bad sign.
Like if you can have a massive argument the next day, actually
Yeah.
it never happened. That's a pretty.
That's what
healthy
me and James do. We like because you guys have stuck around, but me and him, we fight. Like, I don't like bringing this up because we do it a lot, but like the Neon Genesis Evangelion fight that me and James had was so bad that because we were playing we were playing games something, and he said that he thought that the rebuild movies were better than the original series and the end of Evangelion, and I argued that against him, and it was like we were butting heads. Like we've having butt heads like that in quite a bit, and then the next day we came around to the podcast, and we would laugh, and then we would cracking jokes like nothing ever happened. Like that's healthy conflict and healthy arguments that expand your knowledge are important.
Or even a conflict that you can handle healthy. Like sure you can have like a big conflict.
Yeah.
But if you're able to communicate like effectively through it, there's no reason it has to like damage, be that like damaging, I guess.
Fuck that. Maybe that's why I like maths so much. Because those conflicts are just like fucking
They're all full on, man.
they're full on.
I thought you said maths.
No,
like
maths.
math.
Like
Not-
MAFS.
I know. Married at first sight.
What a great show that is, honestly.
Oh man, this season is.
There was literally a scene where this chick threw a glass because she got so mad she threw a glass on a table and it exploded everywhere. Fucking sick.
Right.
No, we can't get into maths because I will not stop talking about it.
Yeah, that shit is so shit.
Mike, when you brought that thing about Keanu Reeves, were you talking about the thing where he's like, if you have to be fighter because if you don't fight for someone's love, what type
That's
of love do
exactly
you
it.
have?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That equates to anything. Honestly, if you really think
Wait, actually, I so agree with that. If you're not willing to fight for love, is it love?
it's not. Genuinely, it's not.
Yeah, like what?
If you every time there's conflict and you lay over and you show your soft underbelly, then what's the point? Honestly, people will grow bored of it. People will grow bored.
That's the core. That's the core reason of like war is that countries will fight for whatever the fuck they're fighting for. So, for example, I don't want to get into this because I'm sure everyone's fucking sick of this. But with the war in Ukraine is fighting for the love of their country. That's the reason they're defending. If they didn't care about their country, I would have just let Russia.
Ukrainian people have proved. Sorry, I hate to cut you off, Oli. But just a quick thing: the Ukrainian people have proven to be so passionate and resilient
is insane.
and
the resilience
and
alone,
patriotic.
The fact that they The fact they haven't received any support from any other country because it's kind of legally
Well,
they
they've
can't,
gotten some.
and they're still fighting on, and I think they're
Going
I
and
don't
they
know.
and they've and they're
can't
going
tell.
like
They're going
and they're
hard.
going weeks without like gas and water and electricity. And I was bitching and moaning about the fact that I didn't have any hot water and electricity for a day when my house flooded. So the people of Ukraine, you guys are badass motherfuckers. And
Yeah, this is actually something I
just the
wanted to touch on
resilience.
because, like, my heart goes out to everyone in Ukraine
oh,
because,
100%.
like over these past like few weeks,
Mm.
I felt so bad because I'm out here living my life,
Mm.
and there are people in Ukraine that are like struggling so much.
Yeah,
and they're dying.
I have recently been getting a lot of like privilege shaming. Like I have been like feeling a lot of like I've got so much like when the floods like recently when the floods came in and flooded my house, I felt so bad about myself. And then that night I was sitting in a hotel room and I was watching the Russia and Kiev stuff, the Russia and Ukraine stuff, and I was like, fuck, I've got it like really good. Because I can go from my house which has been flooded to a hotel which has hot water and power and all this stuff that I take for granted. There are these people in Ukraine running from their lives, running from, the Russians who are like who don't have anywhere else to go and have to run to the border of Poland. So it's scary, and certainly everyone from the Late Night Lounge, the Late Night Limited, our hearts go out to the people of Ukraine.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly say, not to diminish or minimize what they're going through by any means,
Yeah.
but Michael, your struggles are unrelated. Just because they're going through something bad doesn't diminish what you're going through either.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that.
It's one of the worst things you can think about. Like, let's say you see someone who's crippled and can't move, and you've got depression. It does not mean your depression is any way, shape, or form not
Yeah,
as
obviously.
important. Any kind of struggle. Like, sure that there'll always be a one up, but that never diminishes
Obviously,
the one
yeah,
below. And
yeah,
that's
I
why.
understand that.
Then that's what I. And that's
It's
why
just
resilience is such
for
an
me. It
important
was
thing.
the perspective. Like it kind of
Yeah.
put everything into perspective type of thing. It's like
It does.
yeah.
Like, I mean, even just me, like me losing internet for a week, I was still like, nah, but Michael has no fucking power.
But the thing is that
Like-
with these floods, I was getting me and my parents and my sister were all getting text messages from people that we haven't spoken to in years, saying, "Oh, if you need like a hot shower, or if you need electricity, or charge your phone, or do you need a
Oh,
hot
that's
meal?"
so sweet.
That's fucking
Sort of
dope.
that stuff
What
is
the
like
fuck?
it's like I haven't talked to you guys since
No
like
one
high
would've
school,
done that
and you
for
guys are
me.
reaching out to me now.
That is so sweet.
I saw my old
That is dope.
house master. I didn't even know how he knew I was there. He's like, "How you going?" I'm like, "Yeah, good."
How you going?
How do you know that I live here? And he just said, "Oh, I asked one of the Mawson House. I was in Mawson House, so you can probably figure out what high school I went to now." Sort of thing. Do you need help or anything? I said, "Look, I'm all right, but thanks for." And it's that moral support that really gets you. Like having the idea of having people in your court makes you feel like on top of the world. It'll make you always feel on top of the world, sort of thing.
And it's stuff like that makes me so happy and like gives me faith in humanity.
Yeah, well, it's amazing to see that even like there's a particular death metal band that I listen to, and they're Russian. And even the singer came out and said, "We do not support this war in any way.
Yeah.
Like as someone who is Russian and has a lot of Russian like stuff in their music video, like AKs and bears and like a lot of patriotism
Russia,
for for Russia." They still said, "We do not agree with what Russia's doing, and we do not agree with any kind of conflict that ever happens." And I'm sitting there, I'm going, hell yeah, this is exactly, and it's amazing how no one is on the Russian side.
Even the Russian,
I was gonna say, like, even most Russians aren't even on Putin's side.
You look at the places like St. Petersburg and Moscow and all these places in Russia where it's illegal to protest the government, and there are people out there protesting this war. And it does it makes you, and it does fill you with hope that it doesn't matter what happens in the future. Doesn't matter if you are.
Nick, you playing Skate 3?
If you put kindness out into the world, you'll bring kindness back in, and that's what I was trying to say. And then Oli just fucking ruined the whole.
I'm sorry, but like Nick, I know you're playing Skate 3 right now.
No,
My
no.
man's just chilling.
I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to listen to the conversation. I don't know. Remember?
You're playing Skate 3.
No.
There you are.
Skate 3 is playing.
Anyway,
me,
yeah, like it's amazing to see that after all this pandemic stuff, humanity it still gives me hope that that humanity will come together against something that's fucked up. And just like the support to Ukraine, even though they're not fighting, they're just putting a message to even like Ukraine's Twitter, because Ukraine has a Twitter. It's actually kind of funny.
Well, Russia has a Twitter as well. Yeah.
People are posting like saying, "Oh,
support."
Our heart goes out to you.
There
like,
was
support,
there was a
like,
thing that they were talking about in the news where people, because you can't directly support Ukraine, so what people are doing is they're going to Airbnbs, like Ukrainian Airbnbs, and giving the money directly to these Ukrainian people through Airbnb, which is like, fuck, why didn't I think of that? I should be doing that.
Yeah, just like buy an Airbnb, but like obviously can't go there. Give them money.
That's
help
what
their
I want to
economy.
do.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
All right. I say, you guys comfortable with wrapping this up?
Yep.
All right, cool.
I'm cool with that.
Nick, you cool with wrapping this up? You want to talk about anything else?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Thank
you so much. This was definitely been a bit of a longer episode than usual. Thank you everyone for listening to 10 episodes of the Late Night Lounge podcast.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, so much. We appreciate you. Sorry that James couldn't be here. He's been tied up with stuff.
He's a fucking hard worker.
He's working hard. He's paying the bills. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Late Night Lounge podcast, episode 10. We'll hopefully see you for another 10 episodes, 100 episodes. Who knows what? 1,000 episodes. If you like us, don't forget to like and subscribe on this. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Do remember that we've also got this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Podcasts. Nick, do you want to tell them about the social media accounts?
Yeah. If you want to follow us on social media, we've currently got a running Twitter and Instagram at Late Night Limited.
I think we also have a TikTok, but we don't really post on there. Also, make sure to follow Nick and Ryan's Twitch accounts. I'll link those in the description as well.
I don't stream though, so just keep that.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. And last thing before we go, if you guys are in Brisbane or you guys live in Queensland or in Australia and you want to come and watch us, we'll be at Oz Comic Con Brisbane on March 26th, 2022. Come down to the Brisbane Convention Centre. Come say hi. We don't bite. Oli definitely bites, so we'll keep him on a leash.
Let's date him.
Yeah.
I'll start throwing hands.
He'll start throwing hands. But yeah, we definitely hope to see you there at Oz Comic Con. But yeah. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks everyone. Take care.
Okay, see you.